here. Going to tie a wiper fly. Buddy of mine told me about this super productive pattern, so I figured I'd show it to you guys. I've already put on these eyes. These are not weighted. This is a size 4 streamer hook. So this one's not meant to get down deep, but obviously you can add weight to it if you want to get it deeper. So we just start with a flashy tail here. This is Krelex, tied it on top. I want it to be right around 3 inches long, so it's pretty close right there, so that's not bad. You want the whole fly from the back here to be about 3 inches. So this flash, I want it to be a little bit shorter than 3 inches. So that's good. Here we have some yellow zonker strips, and you want this to go just a little bit further past your flash, just a little bit. So right there, I find it out, mark it out. And you know what, I think I'm going to use a new one because I don't really like that strip. Alright, there's a better one. So, here we go. Find that sweet spot again. Right there. Make sure that it's laying down, the feathers facing backwards, or the fur, I should say, actually, is facing backwards. So, tie that in right on top, right where your flash ends. Tie it right in on that same exact spot. If you want, I usually do four really tight wraps on it. I'm also using the Wax Flymaster Plus 210 from Danville in white. It's really strong stuff, and I am using it because so I can do those kind of strong wraps. So once I've got that nice and secured in, tied in on top, I'm going to start doing wraps with my strip here, all the way to the right behind the eyes here. I'm just going to do a few, and then you can kind of palmer it backwards, but it will flow on its own. There we go. And then once I reach the eyes, I like to do two wraps behind. Just gives it a little bulkier sort of head. And then once it's good, you can wrap it. Now you can either wrap it behind the eye or you can wrap it out front. Doesn't matter. I'm gonna do something with it, so I wrap behind the eyes. But so once you've got it in, then you can kind of pull everything back. Make sure that it's all facing backwards now. I'll trim this little excess here. Trim that, and then just you'll have a little piece from where you snipped it from, right on top. So I'll just go over that and just really cinch it down. Okay. So how's this looking? Pretty good. You should have this kind of leechy, sort of fluffy looking body that is a little thicker than your tail. So now I am going to add 2 final pieces, and the first is on the bottom, and here I have some ice dubbing. Here we go. So I have some ice dubbing, and I'm just going to make sort of a red throat with it. You want it to go about to the hook point, right about to the hook point there. That's about how far I want this throat to go. You can do whatever you want, but I tie it in halfway, and then I just fold over the rest, tie that in, and it makes for a nice little ruby throat, kind of a classic ruby throat. And then the final piece is, it just looks kind of bare on top, so all I do is I go to the rabbit strip and I just take a little fluff, just a little piece here, and I cut it off. Nothing too much. You don't want too much, but just a little bit. And what I'll do is I'll pull all the fluff out, and it'll just kind of leave me with this nice tips here. And I'm gonna lay it down and tie it in right on top. Alright, right on top. Do a couple securing wraps, make sure it's actually on top. It needs to be thick enough to cover in between the eyes, so that's thick enough to cover. So before I clean up or anything on the front here, I separate it out. And what I'll do is take a drop of super glue and put it between the eyes here, and then I will fold that back, fold it back and stick it right down to the super glue. There we go. Now it just kind of covers it. I think it looks much better. It sticks down. It'll stay flat anyways once it gets wet. You know, it'll stay back once it gets wet, but I don't know. I think it just looks cool. So now I'll come in, clean up the front, trim off my excess, and that is pretty much it. I'll make a neat nose, kind of make it a little neater than this. There we go. And because wiper can be pretty aggressive, what I'll do is I'll put a few coats of some Sally Hansen's Hard as Nails on here. I color the line yellow here just to keep with sort of the pattern. And I have a few more spots to touch up. Yeah, that ain't bad. So there we go. Little wiper fly, pretty quick, pretty easy to make. All I do for the head here, got a few fibers sticking there. All I do for the head here is just put a little Sally Hansen's down. I'll just put a few drops. Careful not to put too much because that can be disastrous. There we go. I'll probably put 2 coats down just to be extra sure, because this is a fly going out to somebody in Kansas, this shipment of flies, so I hope they have the best of luck with them. And so there we have it. Pretty neat little fly, super easy. Again, the eyes are really where the weight's going to come from. You can obviously wrap it with weight, but this one he didn't want weighted, so I didn't tie him weighted. But here we are, a little wiper fly, neat little fly, super buggy, swims really well. Hope it works. So thanks for watching. If you have any questions, let me know. Comment below. You can check us out on Instagram at MaineFlyGuys. Anytime, check us out. Posting new content every day. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you soon.